Well, I'm here with James Bamford, the director of Air Force One Down, and I think I'm just gonna start with uh, Katherine McNamara. Um, Holy crap, she's great in this. Um, and so you get a lot of actors in action movies, and you can kind of tell the ones you can kind of separate the Scott Adkins from the Liam Neesons, right? The Scott Adkins usually did the one take because they can handle it. The Liam Neesons maybe not so much, so you got to cut around it. You got a couple
Mhm.
one-ers in here, and Catherine just kills it. So where did you find her, and where can you see more of her?
Excellent question. Kat and I worked together on a television series called Arrow in the DC universe. I was the producing director on that show, and it's a superhero TV show. And Kat played the daughter of Arrow, who was played by Stephen Amell, and she was required to do a lot of training physically in martial arts and archery and whatnot on that show. So seeing as how our experience together was as such, I was very aware of what she was capable of. And so when we brought her on the film, I introduced her to the stunt team and said, "Go for it." She was brought in, weeks in advance to rehearse and train, and she, as you can see, picked up the choreography and the intent like a champ and just ran with it. So I tend to love to build and design one-ers all the time in a lot of my work. So I was very happy to be able to get somebody to get an actor who was capable of servicing that kind of material and pace and whatnot. And she did it with flying colors, as you can see.
Well, so in an alternate universe where she's not available and you have to deal with an actor that can't quite handle that,
Uh-huh.
how would you go about shooting scenes like that? Do you just would you have to kind of we're not doing this one because they can't handle it, so we're gonna try something else, or like how would you go about something like that?
It depends. I've done it many different ways, and exactly what you just said, we can't do it, is one, and it has to be done in cuts and edits. There are little tricks of the trade. One of them is called a cowboy switch or a Hollywood switch. And that's where you take the actor and they do a part of the fight or a piece of the fight. You keep the camera rolling and the camera wipes into something. And then while it's wiping into something or through a body, the actor steps out and the stunt double steps in and you continue the fight or continue the shot. Now you can do that and build in a stitch so that you don't have to keep the camera rolling. You just cut the camera within that stitch, and then you continue. You roll the camera again, step the stunt double in, come out of the wipe or the stitch, and the stunt double enters and continues the fight, and it feels seen. Now this can only be done if one have a great stunt double, but it really depends on the costume department and the hair department, and of course the stunt team if they provide you with a excellent stunt double that not only has the physicality, the looks of the actor or actress, but also has the skills that you need, within the scene. I prefer myself to do as much work with the actors as possible. It's just more realistic, and it keeps you in the film because audiences are like yourself are very sophisticated, and you can see a stunt double a mile away. So I try to keep the illusion of reality as much as possible, and I think we did it quite effectively in this film. And as you saw, Kat embraced the choreography and embraced the realism of it. And she did a lot of training, not only before she arrived on set to rehearse in Los Angeles. She was, on the gun range and training with knives. and boxing and doing all sorts of things before she arrived here with the stunt team, just to freshen up. And then when she got here with the stunt team, she was training for a few weeks, the choreography here. So it takes a lot of work. Now, I can't say that any actor is capable of that because that's not true. It takes a special kind of person, an athlete, to be able to get through a oneer because they're also, just remembering the choreography and performing the technique is one thing, but surviving it and not passing out from exhaustion is another thing because they're
Take
very
two.
exhausted.
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a real thing, It's exhausting performing those. So only a few people out there, as you said, Scott Adkins, Michael Jai White, Keanu Reeves does incredibly well with them as well. But all these people have trained for a long time now and have a lot of experience. And Kat's very quickly turning into one of those people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And you also have a bunch of stunt backgrounds, and I've noticed like with you, Jesse B. Johnson's somewhat recent one, Hal Needham's the older one, but you have these people that worked in stunts and become directors. And like what's some what so like the stunt director action movies tend to turn out very, very well, if not just completely underrated. But there's something that you guys seem to understand about action that other people can't get. What's some wisdom you can impart to non-stunt directors to maybe help them level up their game, so to speak?
Listen to the stunt coordinator.
There you go. Easy enough.
When I was doing it for years, not all the directors did that. And I became a director by, watching, of course, over the years. And I was a stuntman for 25 odd years and, went through everything, worked with and for and side by side with a lot of fantastic dramatic directors. But the ones who were the best what they did trusted me with the action and handed over the set and said, go for it, it's yours, and I also learned that way. And being able to run with it like that is the key, and being able to trust your stunt team, and realize that they designed this fight, therefore they should know how to shoot it properly, especially nowadays when people are prevising. And I was shooting previses as a stunt coordinator and a fight choreographer myself back in 1990, geez, six, seven, and editing on my laptop on like iMovie with Firewire and mini DVs and whatnot. And you learn a lot doing that, and the editory process teaches you a lot. So all of the stunt people and fight choreographers nowadays are doing that, and they're doing that continually just for fun. So if a director's not, trusting these guys to handle the action, then they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
Why do you suppose? Because like you have the expert right there. Like why would a director not listen to them? It doesn't make sense.
I have no idea exactly, and I've been saying that for years. Uh, Uh, we made a T-shirt one time back in the day when I was still doing stunts that just said "Shoot the previs," on the shirt as a message to the director, because you got all this work on making it, just right, and then they want to do it another way, which is their prerogative. It's their show, but it's not always. The guys who do it for a living know what they're doing, and that's why they're there. So trust them, just like the costume department, you trust them, just like the makeup department, just like, that you have all these professionals surrounding you, and let them do their job.
Yeah.
Um,
You had
that's
like
their
a
dying to do it.
there was like certain writers I like. I'll see like a movie come out and then the movie like maybe doesn't turn out great, and then come to find out they rewrote the writer and was like, well, why? Frank Darabont was right there. Why'd you have to rewrite that? I'm sure it was great the first time around.
Yeah, things like that happen, and for different reasons. It's who knows? Everybody's got their own opinion, and what my opinion is of what I think is a great fight or a great dramatic scene isn't always somebody else's opinion. So, directing a film or directing a TV show is the director's opinion of this material, of this script. And it is a collaboration. It takes the writers, the producers, hair and makeup, wardrobe, costume, stunts, the director of photography, everybody to put this together. It's not just one person at the helm. But along the way, it's all these different opinions, and they have to sort of, converge into one person's steering it, one person's vision. And hopefully it comes across, you know, as a singular vision. You could tell by films like Deadpool, that was a singular vision. It wasn't a committee meeting. It didn't get homogenized and split up. It turned out to be very specifically one direction, and that's what you want to see, you know.
Yeah. Well, we have a what's in the box segment, and in the box we have people put movies in, and every week we'll pull one out and watch it. But the movies we have people put into the box are lesser seen movies or movies that maybe you think that this movie's real good and no one talks about it, and I wish they would. What's a movie you'd like to put into the box?
Oh my. Um, I wasn't expecting that. Let's
Scary. Boo.
see. Any specific genre?
Oh, just whatever you want.
Huh. Well, I think it's been overwatched now, but I would have said The Raid um, years ago. But it's been watched over and over again by audiences all over the world. So when I first saw it, it was, one of those movies. It was the best kept secret. But huh, I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll go with the raid then. That'll just give me an excuse to watch it again, which I have absolutely no problem with.
Good.
But yeah, everyone, Air Force One Down is out in theaters and digital now, and everyone should watch it, especially Katherine McNamara. She's awesome. Just yeah, it's a really fun action movie, and congratulations. And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right. And Sam.